Instagram changes every single day.
How do you take your follower and turn them into an email subscriber? Because you own your email list.
This is the beginning. This is the
Yeah.
foundation of house.
The point of social media, which is to create a connection with people based off of them getting to know you.
Hey there, my little biz besties. Welcome back to In Good Company, where real entrepreneurs share real growth stories. Thanks for liking and subscribing to my channel. Let's get into it. When it comes to business, especially coming from corporate, there was this obligation to be serious all the time.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, if you crack a single joke, like you don't know what you're doing, you're not a professional. Yeah. If you put an emoji in an email, like that's not even a thing, you know, like that, you're a teenager. Yeah. If you do that. But now when I do that or receive emails with emojis and an exclamation point, I'm like, my people, like, yes, I love the energy, and it's infectious versus repellent. So when I went to the forum to sign up for the retreat that you're going to have next year, I was so bummed.
That it's not in like 4 months from now.
Yeah, I was like, I can't wait till April. That's quite a buildup, but I will hold the excitement. The retreat that you're going to have in April in Georgia, in my home state. I was sent to your website, which is so beautifully simple.
Thank you.
I don't know if that's okay, right? That's okay.
Yeah, that's what I want it to be.
Okay. Intentionally, beautifully simple. Yeah. I started feeling like, oh, well, she gets me, because there were options for packages, and then at the bottom it was like all about me, and I don't know how many people read the all about me. I was like, I should probably know who I'm going to go to the mountains with. I mean, let's have like a tiny bit of safety. So let me read their online bio. I should probably worry about myself more. But I noticed a few similarities in your offerings. And that's how I kind of knew this is my people. It's very straight to the point, with a little bit of sparkle, but not an overwhelming amount. Well, I was like, okay, frou-frou. So, Instagram. Do you think Instagram? Sorry, this was a long walk for a drink of water. We'll get there.
It's okay.
Tosoni.
It's okay.
When I saw Instagram, and I saw you had a couple of offerings. You had a one time. You had, do you want to chat for a month? Cool. You want to chat for 90 days? Cool. Do you want me to do one audit? And you made it so, you made an offering for people wherever they're at. Yeah. Do they need a one-time situation? Do they want to make this like a long-term commitment? Yeah. So I'm interested. This is where you are now. Take me back. Take me back to, you know, before you were doing what you're doing, coaching. Yeah. When maybe you had a job, which is fine. Yeah. We like jobs.
Yeah, there's no shame for jobs.
No, it's fine. My husband's a W-2, and I think he would be the worst business owner ever. That's fine. So before you started Emily Tosoni, what were you doing?
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna walk it back a little further, and then bring us forward with more detail. So, okay. I am also from Georgia, so I love that energy to start with. Mm-hmm. And when I finished high school, I thought I was going to do journalism as a career. So I started at a small college in Georgia, Berry College.
Oh my gosh, so nostalgic for me. This episode's for me, actually.
So I started at Berry.
I've heard of
and realized that was not what I wanted to do. I learned a lot in the 2 years I was there in the journalism field. I decided I wanted to do athletic training. That was really my passion. And so
okay. That's
I moved to Montana. I literally moved across the country where I knew no one to finish my degree. So I found a few places that had athletic training, decided on Montana. There's way more to that story, but we'll just say for now, I didn't know anyone. I took a leap of faith.
Were you in your early 20s?
I was 20 when I moved out here. Yeah.
You're invincible when you're 20.
So, I was like ready to be far away and take risks, but also not really like thinking about how exactly that might feel being that far away from everything I knew, you know. So I did finish my degree in athletic training. So that's what my bachelor's is in. And I like to say that that's really one of my gifts. I was really great at putting hands on athletes, like when they had injuries, to be able to identify where the issue was and help them. I was really great at it. I loved it. There were a lot of reasons why that career was not the long-term situation for me. Pay, hours, travel, everything. So after about 5 years, I got a master's in community health, which was a way for me to stay in a health field, but with a different focus. I always explain community health as a mixture of like public health and social work. And it really looks at, and this will tie into where I am now, it really looks at, from the outside, I, as the professional, might say, okay, this community has XYZ health issues, so let's implement ABC to address it. And really, the best way to know what to implement to address it is to talk to the people who live in the community, who are there, who experience and have the day-to-day interactions with the resources, the people, the place. Instead of me saying, I have the answer for you, the answer is, you tell me what you need. So that was my master's. And then I got a job with the government. So I worked. So I was never really a corporate. I worked for a corporation 1 year with my athletic training degree. But really, the majority of my experience in the job world, you know, in the traditional job sector, was in government. So I worked for the state public health department here in Montana. And
you stayed in Montana?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I bounced around. I like finished my bachelor's out here, moved to Maryland, New Jersey, back to Georgia. Then I came back out here for grad school. And then I met my husband, and he won't leave.
So, why do you think Montana? I'm just so curious. Obviously, if you had no husband, like, forget husband. Like, why do you think Montana? I have my thoughts, but I'd like to hear why.
There's so much to that answer. The expansiveness of out here, the wildness, but also it's a different culture. It's a totally different culture than what I grew up in. And when I first moved out here to Missoula, which is where the University of Montana is, which is where I went to school, literally the first time I had ever been there. I didn't even visit before I just moved.
Because you're 20.
Yeah. And I felt like I had found my place. I don't know that everyone experiences that in their life. I wouldn't say that I had a really great childhood. I really loved growing up in Georgia, where I grew up. And I always kind of felt like, I don't know that I necessarily fit here. I feel like the culture I'm growing up in isn't really fully representative of who I am and what I value. Not that all pieces of it fit into that, but when I moved to Missoula, I was like, this is my place. Now, where I live now, I live in Helena, Montana. It's a very different culture here than it was in Missoula. But there's something about Montana that is very alluring and enticing and a little bit isolating.
No, I actually 100% agree, as a fellow Georgia girly. And right now I am binge watching the shit out of Yellowstone right now. I know. So that's when you said Montana, I was like, what is this universe that Emily Tosoni has put me in? I think there's a wildness to it. There's a feeling of I want to go back to how it was, where it was just like the frontier and the wide open land, and I think it suits you very well. because we go way back, obviously. We're Georgia sisters. And knowing just this tiny bit, you were 20, you moved out into a new frontier, which is terrifying. But as a 20-year-old, you're like, my God, what's the worst that could happen? So much. And that you stayed. And so that tells me you're just drawn to kind of the unknown. You're drawn to the what ifs, the expansiveness of it. So I love it. I just was curious what your answer was because I'm obsessed with Yellowstone. So sorry. So we met husband. We're in love. We're doing fine. We got our masters. So we're highly educated. We started working for the government.
Yeah.
We only did corporate for a year, which, like, again, but I don't think all corporate is bad. I just think.
I don't think corporate's bad at all.
Yeah.
I don't think government is bad. It just, neither were really the right fit for me.
Sure. Okay. So we're working for the government.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had great coworkers. I had a great work environment. I had a great schedule. Like, there was nothing really, honestly, negative except for I couldn't really do the work that I wanted to do. I wanted to actually work with communities and implement things. And what I was always running up against was, well, our federal grant only allows us to do XYZ in XYZ manner. And I felt very confined by that. I felt kind of jaded, like, why? And the other thing I ran into a lot was supervisors who, for the most part, were supportive and wonderful. Like, truly, I would consider them friends, would say things like, you're fresh out of grad school. And that's a great idea, but that's just not, we can't do it that way. And I would think pretty regularly, why can't we change the way we do things to better meet the needs of the people we're trying to help? I don't understand. Like, I just couldn't comprehend, like, why can't you take the updated ideas that I just learned in graduate school, that I implemented, that I did research on? Why can't we implement those to better serve the population that we're trying to serve, to have better health outcomes? Like, why can't we try that?
Right.
But it was a reminder that there are systems and structures all around us that are mired in old ways of doing things. And, you really shut yourself down by saying, this is the way we've always done it, and that's the way we're going to keep doing it. And that didn't fit for me. That was not, I knew that like being a traditional employee in that type of setting was not the long-term vision. So I started a network marketing business. So I had been using like the products for the company that I was representing for a few years at that point.
It's very on brand for you because you were a personal trainer in spirit and educationally. So of course you would like try stuff for your body.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So the products were, I loved the products, the business. I had always like been very like, I would never do a network marketing company. Like, that is not me at all. Like, I am not that. Absolutely not. Like, no way. And then, surprise, surprise, I was like, okay,
we're doing this now. Yeah.
And I was very successful. In the 7 years that I was really actively building my business, I was able to leave my full-time job at the health department within a year and a half of starting to build that business. I had business partners and customers all over the United States. Cool. And I was using systems and structures to build that business. I was literally using repeatable systems and structures, teaching my team, and it was all in person. So everything we did was in person, presentations, events. You try the products. Of course, you love them. You've tried them. I don't have to explain to you how this skincare feels. It's on your skin, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happened.
Fun
and,
time.
Like, so many people, I had to figure out how to pivot because my entire business was built off of in-person. I had not been using social media very intentionally. I was kind of starting to dabble into, do I want to do, but I didn't really need to, right? I didn't need to use social media. My business was thriving by doing in-person presentations and text messages and writing letters.
That's fun. Okay.
But like so many people, I was faced with the undesired necessity to pivot. And I started learning how to use social media out of necessity,
Mm-hmm.
so that I could teach, so that I could do it for myself, but so I could also teach my
Mm-hmm.
business partners.
Okay.
And what I found was I really loved the
Hey.
translation of how can you use a platform that everyone has access to create connection in a world that is screaming at us to disconnect. Like, how can I help people to figure to like hit the sweet spot of how can you use a platform like this to
Mm-hmm.
create connection with real people? Not like how can I get 150,000 followers overnight and go viral, but like how can
Yeah.
I connect to people who actually need what I can offer, that will address an issue that they have, so that they
Mm-hmm.
have the answer they're looking for and they feel like I'm the person that can deliver it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I was really enjoying teaching my business partners. And then people started reaching out to me on Instagram that I didn't know, saying, "Are you a coach? Do you teach other people how to use Instagram? Because I would like to pay you." And initially I was like, "No, that's not what I do."
Not
Because
me.
that was also another scary like thing to even
Yep.
consider. Like, do I pivot away from what I've been doing at that point for like the past 8 or 9 years
Right. Right.
and start something new with systems and structures that don't exist, right? So the beautiful part of the network marketing realm was I was learning business, like how to
Mm-hmm.
build a business, but the systems and structures were all there. I just had to
Mm-hmm.
plug into them.
Yes.
Um, and then my coach, my social media coach, reached out to me and said, and he taught how to use LinkedIn and Facebook. I had tried both of
Oh,
those. They were not my platforms. I was like,
okay.
I need Instagram. So I
Yeah.
was applying everything I had learned from him to
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. And he reached out and was like, you need to become a coach. You have figured out how to use this particular platform.
Yeah.
So I did. I did. Oh my God, there's the long story. So,
Yeah.
and I use a lot of what I learned, what I know from experience and from education about
Mm.
behavior change theories. And I mean, really, like that's the
I
foundation of
mean,
everything. But that
yes.
really relates to why we do or do not purchase things, the
Mm.
process it takes for us to make decisions.
Yeah.
And it's also relatable to how we are in building business,
Yes.
um, in
No,
so
I
many
love it.
ways.
I love it because the student became the teacher. Like classic, classic, and I love it. And I think there's a point you made about how you weren't teaching people how to go viral. You were teaching people how to connect. And there's a lot of social media coaches that the goal is virality. Like,
Yep.
let's get you in front of everybody. Let's
Yep.
make sure your face is seen everywhere, a million times. But you didn't say that. You said intentional communication,
Mhm.
which you had learned um, through what you were doing before that.
Yep.
So that necessary pivoting from that pandy we had changed everything for the good, I think. So now we're teaching people how to use Instagram or how to sell on Instagram, or how did that form?
Yeah, I mean, I had taken a course from, I did take a course from another coach to kind of figure out
Okay,
how to structure my business.
sure.
Um, and so I kind of launched my business with that,
Mm-hmm.
like looking at her framework and how she did things and some other courses that I had looked into. And
Yeah.
so I structured everything that way. And initially, I, my focus has always been, let me teach you how to use Instagram as a platform
Mm-hmm.
to create connection and to be visible enough to be found.
Yeah.
But it's also always been about Instagram, just like every other social media platform, could go away tomorrow, gone by, and you would lose access to every single connection you have
Yeah.
if you don't have another way to connect. So I always
Mm-hmm.
teach. In, I focus on Instagram, the features,
Yeah.
which ones you should use, which ones you don't need, how to use the platform strategically, this form of content, that. But it's always with a focus on how do you take your follower and turn them into an email subscriber, because you
Mm-hmm.
own your email list. You own
Okay.
access to, as long as somebody is subscribed to hearing from you,
Mm-hmm.
you have permission to reach out to them. So it's more than just how do you use Instagram. It is the larger picture of this is the beginning of funnel is not really the right word, but for lack of a better word at the moment, it's the
Yeah.
beginning of the funnel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a living, breathing business card.
Okay.
You can update it daily with information that gives your ideal client a peek into who you are, how you offer what you offer, how you help people, and how they can take the next step to work with you.
Okay.
And being very strategic and intentional about taking them from lurker,
Yeah.
content consumer, follower, to you have something I really want and it's free, a lead magnet. And now I'm going
Okay.
to grab that from you. Now I'm on your email list. Now I'm hearing from you. Now I know your name. I know your face. You're the first person that comes to mind when I think about whatever the thing is that you offer.
Oh, okay. I love that because Instagram changes. I'm gonna sound like a boomer when I say this. Instagram changes every single day.
It does
Maybe it
change every
does.
day, literally.
Okay. I'm gonna
You're right.
halfway sound like a boomer. It changes all the time,
Yeah.
and the platform itself might not change as frequently, but the algorithm and what people want to see, and um, I don't know. I'm obviously we need to work together because I'm like, did we post a reel? And my assistant's like, no, no, stop saying real. That's as much as I know. With the changing environment of Instagram,
Yeah.
you are not saying this is where all of our energy should go. You're saying this is the beginning. This is the
Yeah.
foundation of a house. Now we need to build around it to capture that email list. And you hear a lot of chat about email lists.
Yeah.
So you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, the email list is what you actually own. The email list is where the gold is.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of think of them as the chicken and the egg kind of situation. Because so here's like the example I always like to use for folks. Say
Mm-hmm.
you go on a podcast or you're in a networking event or you're
Mm-hmm.
somewhere and the opportunity comes about for you to share the best way for people to connect with you.
Yep.
Regularly, you will hear, you can go to my website at black/.com. You
Every
can
time.
also check me out on LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Now, you put all of those links in the chat for the networking event or the pot, whatever.
Sure.
A confused mind will do nothing.
Mm.
So you've just given me 5 different places to go.
Yep.
Which one am I going to go to? I don't
No,
know.
I'm not
Probably
going
none
to
of
do
them.
it at all.
Definitely not going just directly to your website because I don't know enough about you yet. And
Mm.
even if I do travel to your website first, especially for those of us that are service-based business owners, if I
Mhm.
travel to your website first and I don't yet understand the full value of what you have to offer and the way you make me feel about the
Mhm.
fact that you can help me get the outcome I want, and I go to your website, and the first thing I'm going to look at is your price point. I'm going to look at your offers.
Yeah,
And if I look at your offers and I'm thrown off by the price point, there's no follow up to that.
we're
I'm
done.
not, I'm not on your email list. I'm not
Mhm.
going to hear from you again. I may or may not have followed you on a social platform. Probably didn't because you gave me 5 different links.
I don't know where to go.
So now you've lost that person.
Mm.
So my recommendation is to people, your website should not be the first thing you offer. It should be a social media platform that has a social media platform where you're visible consistently and
Mhm.
offers a simple and streamlined pathway to take them on the next step. A lead magnet. Guide them to a lead magnet, something they want, something they can use, something they can get results from. Now they're
Mhm.
on your email list. So now it's like the recipient. I'm not really sure what the phrase is I'm looking for in my brain. This is perimenopause. I can't always pull the
Fine.
words out of my head, but they're feeding off of each other.
Yeah.
They're now seeing you on social media. They're hearing from you in emails. You're probably
Mhm.
showing up to networking events or you're in communities together. And
Yeah.
this rapport that is being built now makes it to where you're intrigued before you even know the price point.
Yes. And I agree because I bought from you and I didn't even fully understand what a really bad example. But
It's not a bad example. It's a great example because you saw on social media
Yeah.
what we did at the last retreat. You
Yeah.
were drawn in by I want to feel that. I want to be a part of that. That's a community feeling that I
Yeah.
know I want. It's a great example of you were bought into the feeling and
Hmm.
the out like what that would do for you
Yeah.
before you even knew what the price point was.
Yeah, because I didn't know. I did not know. It's interesting whenever I have people on the podcast, they do exactly what you just did. When I was a guest on podcasts, several podcasts, I did exactly what you said. I would name off my website first, and it is forever long because my last name is long. And I thought, what a good idea to put it all in there. And then I would list 3 or 4 different social media platforms as guests too. When I was on that networking call with you, that somehow I was leading. We need to talk to who runs that because
That was
I
so
got,
great. I loved that day.
oh my gosh. It's funny. I that morning I woke up and I got an email that was like, Ashley, can't wait to see you lead this meeting. And I was like, love
What did
this.
I signed up for?
Love this surprise. Um, and that there was a script and I don't do well with scripts, and as we talked about, and so I didn't like stick to the script, and every single person was like, I love that you didn't stick to the script, and I was like, me too, because that's not super instinctual for me. But in the chat, in that networking meeting, mastermind meeting, I don't want to downplay it, it's a big deal.
Big deal.
You put one link, and I don't even know if there was a lot of description about it. Because I was just like, I wasn't even seeing straight. Because I was like, oh my gosh, retreat. I remember seeing this last year, and all these women were having fun, and I'm not generally I'm a numbers person.
Yeah.
Like, I try to make very logical, like, planned out decisions, but it was a feeling. It was, I saw all these videos, all this content last year. I don't know what they're doing, but they looked like they were having a good time, and I can't miss out. And it was very easy to buy. I wasn't completely shocked at a sticker price because I didn't care about any of that. I wanted to know what y'all were doing. And I think that is so important. What you said is making it easy for people to buy, making it easy for people to buy in on the feeling, making it easy for people to follow where you want them to go.
Yep.
So when you go on a podcast, you might have regrets now, but
no regrets.
Awesome. YOLO. When you go on the podcast and people say, how can we find you? You give them one option.
Yeah, I just said follow me on Instagram. Because I've curated my Instagram profile to make it simple for you to get to know me, what I do, who I help, and how I help them. And that's what I teach my clients to do as well. Like, your profile should not look like a half-ass dating app profile. It shouldn't be about you. It should be about how you help people, who you help. People don't care what we know until they know we understand them. It's important for us to talk about who we are, what we know, the expertise we have, the experience we have. People need to know that as well. But off the cuff, when I click on someone's profile, if it's all about them, I'm a speaker, I don't care. I honestly do not care that somebody's a speaker or has a published book or a podcast or is a 5 times Forbes. I don't give a shit because I still don't know what you can do for me. That information needs to be in your content somewhere. It needs to be on your website. I'm not saying it's not important, but I do not care as a consumer. I do not care yet. Can you help me? Am I following you for a specific reason? What information can you give me that I cannot get from anywhere else? That's what your living, breathing business card of an Instagram profile has to shout at me when I first get there. And then the content has to help me to better understand all of those pieces. With, again, a simple next step pathway to get onto my email list. And not in a I'm going to spam you every day with email, but in you're going to hear from me often enough with value that you can use and implement so that you know that I know what I'm talking about. And my name and brand recognition becomes so easy for you that your first thought is, oh my God, you need help with Instagram? You absolutely have to talk to my friend Emily.
Okay, so we're building a brand with very little,
Yes.
very little information about ourselves because
Well,
let's
it
not about ourselves,
yeah, I mean
right?
it's like it's a dance, right? Your content needs to show who you are because
Mm,
we buy from people because of who they are.
yeah,
So your content, but the way your brand shows up when I just click on your Instagram profile.
yeah,
If in the bio section, right, like right underneath your profile picture, if it is just all about you, I do not know how you can
mm,
help me. I don't know what you offer. I like you've talked about yourself in
yeah,
this line that is supposed to tell me how you can help me. All the
mm,
other information about who you are, your humor, your the relatability, I want you to include that in the content you create because that's where you're
mhm,
blending what your brand is and does with who you are, which is the brand,
yeah.
like that's your actual brand, the
That's
mixture
it.
of you with what you offer.
Okay,
That's in your content. But the bio, I don't care.
I
I don't
don't care.
care yet about
I don't care.
you because I care about me. And
Oh,
anyone who gets like butthurt at that, I mean, I would challenge you to think about it from your own perspective as a
yeah,
consumer of content and information and things and services.
yeah.
You want to know first what you're going to get out of following this person. What kind of content do you put out? I mean, when we start to think about ourselves as the consumer, I think it helps us to understand better how we can improve the experience
Mm-hmm.
that our ideal clients have with the information we put out.
Oh, 100%. Side note, what happened to your thumb? Oh, are you okay?
It's just, oh my God, I love you. You sound like my 7-year old. He's like, Mommy, what? It's
What
just,
happened?
it's the, it's the transition of season, so it's very dry out. So my cuticles just start
Oh,
to,
they
it's
just
just
start
dry.
going away
I
from
just
you.
gotta over moisturize now that it's like starting to
Yeah.
get cold outside.
Is it cold? Is it cold
I
there?
mean, today it's a high of 63, but it was like 40 this morning.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I hope it's okay. I suffer from dry skin as well. I just want to make sure you're okay.
It scares you.
Yeah.
Mm.
But the second thing is with Instagram,
Mhm.
with any social media platform, as a consumer, I do exactly what you said. So when I go to someone's profile, if it says they've done all these things, my initial feeling is, okay. Not, oh my gosh,
I know.
how can I buy from you? When I'm like, all right, cool. Like we're all really busy too. Like we get it.
Yeah.
So I do understand that from a consumer standpoint as a service, business owner, service provider. I always hesitate to like come up with a cute, catchy, like, this is how I can help you because it's taxes. And so I'm like, how are we gonna be sexy? So yes, we have done a lot of bio shifts. Because I'm like, no, let's make it sound like rocker. Let's make people be like, I want to have my taxes done by someone that's a rock star. But then I'm like, no, let's be more serious. So you mentioned you can change it all the time. You can
Mhm.
change it all the time, which I love. Um, I want to ask you about some trends that I'm seeing. Can I ask you?
Of
Okay.
course.
Yeah. Um, I when I thought that I might somehow be a coach someday, I also took a content class.
Mm.
And this was really recently. I changed my real life bio a lot as well. Um, so there were a few types of content that they talked about, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on them. Talking head.
Mm.
Talking head? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Yeah.
smart. How do you feel about talking head? Is it still helpful? Or are we just being awkward?
Um,
I love it.
I think
I
there's
already
always a level of awkwardness to like us talking alone to the camera, but So like there's always that awkwardness, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
part of it. However, talking head reels are great for building
Mhm.
brand authority and brand awareness, giving in-depth
Okay.
information to the followers you already have.
Okay.
So it's not that talking head reels can't bring in new followers, but
Mm-hmm.
usually they are long enough that they're not getting any reel that's under 3 minutes long can get recommended to um, someone who's searching, like Instagram will
Yeah.
promote them
Okay.
as recommended content. However, if I don't know you yet, if I'm not bought into you, I'm not likely to watch for more than 3 to 5 seconds you talking,
Mm.
unless you've really captivated me with the initial line, with the hook, and I'm really
Okay.
drawn in. However, your existing followers are still getting to know you.
Yeah.
They're still trying to understand if you're the right person for them. So, talking head
Mhm.
reels are a piece of content that I encourage my clients to incorporate on a regular basis. Um, which most people are like, I don't want my, I don't, I'm uncomfortable. And my
Not
response is
me.
always, mm-hmm. But your audience, like you're not the only one. Most of us, the number one fear is public speaking. Okay, and so like putting
Yes.
yourself in front of your like, I love it. I
That's
get it.
public. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I get it. And here's what I tell people when you're recording a talking head reel. First of all, like be ready to edit it and get the ums and ahs out so that it's just like
Mhm.
bam, 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 delivering the information.
Yeah.
But if you can imagine yourself while you're talking to your own phone, recording it,
Yeah.
if you can imagine that you're just having a conversation with one other person who's asked a question before about this topic that you're recording about.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's an existing client, maybe it's a friend, maybe you're just imagining someone asking this question. It always helps me to think about it from that perspective. And that's what I ask my clients to do as well. We
Okay.
get so in our heads about, oh my God, how do I go viral? How do I make sure everyone sees this? We forget that it's a one on one experience with content consumption.
Mm.
I'm putting a piece of content out, but literally it's being consumed one person at a time,
Mm-hmm.
quietly. They're scrolling,
Right.
and they're consuming it one person at a time. So if
Mm-hmm.
you can shift your mindset about I look like a fool or whatever insecurities or whatever that is, and it's real. That's real. I'm not like downplaying that or shaming anyone for that. That's real. But if you can shift that mindset to what I'm going to talk about in this reel is going to be able to help one person,
Mm.
that can be really helpful
Yeah.
to kind of decrease the overwhelm of like, how do I make this perfect so that it reaches everyone? And
Yeah.
changing it to, how do I get the message across clearly so that it can have an impact for the person who sees it?
Mm.
It is still a form of content that you
Yes.
should have in your content strategy.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be every day. So, like, release yourself of that pressure of like, oh my God, I have to do talking head reel every day. No, you don't.
I will release myself. I
Okay.
don't, it's not comfortable. It's not. I do. I agree. That is valuable. Do I like doing it? No. Um, when you are public speaking on a real life stage and they tell you, just imagine all the audience in their underwear,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you apply that logic to talking heads, it's creepy, right? Like, I would hope people are not in their underwear, like watching my video. But
But
it
they
is,
are, they're probably on the toilet.
yeah. Oh, that's interesting because then that makes them seem vulnerable and you shouldn't feel vulnerable. I like that shift. I just learned something. I mean, I'm gonna buy your treat. Oh wait, I already did because it's obviously gonna be so helpful. I love that. So we need to incorporate a little bit of talking heads. I also
Yes.
think it helps people feel like when you have a conversation with someone, like after this conversation, like we're best friends. When you are
Yes.
doing, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page. When you are doing a talking head, it makes people feel like they're having a conversation with you.
Yes.
And it builds that, oh, well, yeah, of course I would buy from Emily because I see her talk all the time. She's a real person.
Yep.
So a little bit of talking heads. How do you
Yes.
feel about B roll? Did I
Oh
say
my
it
God,
right?
B-roll. It's my favorite. So,
Oh,
like
okay.
B-roll. Okay, so I teach my clients to do two types of reels. There's like all sorts of, but I just try and keep it simple too.
Yeah.
Talking head reels and snippet reels. So snippet reels are 5 to 15 seconds long.
Okay.
You use a B-roll, which I'll explain that in a moment.
I was going to ask,
And
what is
then
it?
you use trending audio. So you
Okay.
have like a really compelling hook,
Mm-hmm.
a simple call to action. What is the lead magnet you want this person to get access to so they're on your email list?
Mm-hmm.
So B-roll, like, let me just make sure. How do I like capture B-roll? How do I tell my clients to get B-roll film? Or do you want me to like explain it or both or tell me?
Let me tell you what I think B-roll is, and then you can correct me
Okay, ready?
because when I hear B-roll, I don't know why I think this, but
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, just clips of random things that you're doing.
Yes,
Oh,
100%.
I'm shook. Okay, so random clips of what you're doing. What happened? What happens with these clips?
Okay, so B-roll, so think about, okay, let's back it up.
Yes.
I'm in my 40s. One of my favorite TV shows is The Office, okay? All
Oh
right.
God, I knew we were soul
Like,
sisters. Okay.
it's one of my favorites. And I
Mm-hmm.
heard this clip that Kevin,
Mm-hmm.
the guy who plays Kevin, talked about how every day before they would film, before they would start filming the episode,
Mm-hmm.
they would come in early and they would sit at their desks at the studio like they
Yeah.
were actually working. And they would film, they would just take like B-roll film
Okay.
of them just like pretending to work like they're actually at an
Oh,
office.
okay.
And then that footage gets used in different parts as fillers. Okay. So like B-roll film is like literally from the film industry. It's just a term. It's like background film.
Okay.
So when you're like capturing B-roll film,
Yeah.
it's literally you taking your phone, setting it up. Like if I had it set up here off to the side,
Yeah.
capturing me talking.
Yeah.
If I like I would be doing right now on the podcast,
Sure.
or it's me working from my desk. So
Okay.
I always encourage that people have
Oh,
a really
beautiful.
simple
Yeah. Yeah.
tripod that they can like pop up, carry with them, take everywhere. Right?
Fun.
This is incredible. This thing is.
I like that.
I did
That's
get stopped in an airport once, and they because it was like this in my purse, and I was like,
it's
I
a
swear,
weapon.
it's not a baton.
But it is.
It is a selfie stick.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
but you're just like capturing video footage
Mm-hmm.
of you doing things. You can be looking at the camera if you want, but you don't have to. It can
Yeah.
be you on a hike, you prepping dinner, you in your garden, you at lunch with a friend,
Hmm.
just grabbing 5 to 10 second clips of you doing things.
Okay.
And then you use this as the background video footage for your snippet reels. Now, the
Okay.
reason this is important is our eyes are drawn to movement. So
Mm.
the other thing is, and again, this is like from the film industry, every 2 seconds, for the most part, in movies,
Mm-hmm.
there's movement.
Oh.
Even if, think about there are scenes where it's like a monologue or
Yeah.
like somebody's having a deep thought, they will still zoom in. There's still movement happening, right?
Sure.
So you want the same thing in your reels. You want
Okay.
there to be movement. So
Yeah.
like every 2 seconds, 1 to 2 seconds, I like to encourage you have like a split in the video where it
Oh.
maybe showing you in the same place, but you're doing something different. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm writing on my notepad, and then in the next clip, I'm drinking out of my drink. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
like just because it
Yeah.
keeps us
Yeah.
attentive. And then you have on screen text that is grabbing my attention, so I stop my scroll. So B-roll film
Mm-hmm.
becomes the background for your snippet reels, and your snippet reels that have trending audio and are 5 to 15 seconds long are the reels that are most likely to get recommended to people
Okay.
who are searching for similar content to yours
Mm-hmm.
so that you can be found and
Mm.
followed
Okay.
and people can lurk on your page.
Okay. This is so helpful. I'm learning so much. I love this because when you are when you're an elder millennial,
Yes.
as I am, Um, yes. We grew up with the internet, right? So we grew up as it was being modernized and
Yeah.
available to the general public, and we've saw a lot of change. We've seen a lot of things,
Yes.
and it's easy to feel intimidated by the different terms, editing videos. That
Mhm.
in itself can feel daunting. When so my assistant does a lot of our content, and she asks me all the time, record content, and I'm like, I don't. It feels awkward, and and I know it shouldn't feel awkward. You're making it feel so easy. When she asks me to record B-roll, she's like, "Get some B-roll content." I'm like, "I don't know what that is," but now I do. I mean, I kind of knew, but
You knew.
now I know. And I was so nervous the first time she said record B-roll. I put my phone up. I didn't have a cool gadget. I
It's
just
okay.
put it
You
against
don't
my
have to have
computer.
that.
And I was afraid she would be able to hear me because I didn't realize trending audio would go over it. So I was typing and I didn't breathe for like 60 seconds. Because I was like, she'll be able to hear me breathe and she'll be able to hear the on the keyboard. So I just like sat there and looked at my computer and I was like this and didn't breathe. And she was like, cool. No, not that. But you made it feel so easy. I imagine, I know. Bless my assistant.
You're not the only one. I mean,
Are you just
you're
saying
not the
that?
only one. So,
For real? Or is.
no, I feel like this is legitimately the majority of what I work on with my clients is just getting over the tech overwhelm
Yeah.
of what do I do. And you bring up a really great point when you're talking about your assistant. So I have people all the time that are like, will you do my social media for me? I've received the question a lot of like, should I hire my social media out? And
Mm-hmm.
what I like to equate that to is, would you hire people to go on your first dates for you? No.
Yeah.
Your
Oh.
Instagram profile is like your first date. So if you're hiring your social media out, that person should be saying to you, Ashley, person, whoever you are,
Mhm.
you still have to create the content.
Yeah.
I will edit it and post it, but you have to create it so that your essence, your vibe, your tone, your flow, you are every part of that content. So I think a lot of times people feel like if I hire out my social media, I don't have to do it. But the reality is you
Mm.
still have to do the content creation.
It's still
You're
you.
hiring someone to do the technical part of
Mm.
editing it, putting the text on it, adding the captions, that's really what you should be hiring someone to do the content, the
Okay.
technical part of your content creation and
Yeah.
posting. Because if you hire someone to create content for you, they're creating it from their perspective and their voice. As much as they try to make it
Yeah.
sound like you, if you're not the one actually creating it and giving them the content to then edit,
Mm-hmm.
you're missing the point of social media, which is to create a connection with people based off of them getting to know you.
Oh. Okay. Well, I like that. I love that. I mean,
Thank you very
um,
much.
that was a sound bite. That was beautiful. That that makes a lot of sense why in the beginning of trying to outsource my social media, my assistant is phenomenal, and I hope she listens to this
Yes.
and never, ever, ever leaves me. Ever. We'll retire together. Like she has 5 children. She's had babies while she's been with me. Don't leave me. Um, but in the beginning, the content back and forth of how does this sound? How does this sound? Was ridiculous because every time she would send me something, and I know she worked hard on it, I was like, oh, it's not like me though. And
Yeah,
she,
it's not like you.
right. And so you're saying your content has to have you in it because people
Yes.
are going to buy from you. They're not going to buy from, just a random coach. They're not going to buy from a random accounting firm. They want to know you.
Yes.
So I love that. She does listen to these because she does.
Hi, Shannon.
She does. And I talk to Shannon all the time, like she's here with me. And so she does constantly say, like, you have to be in it. So it's very
Yeah.
validating. They will listen to this and be like, what I say, Ashley? I told you.
Well,
So,
she's Southern. Does she have a Southern accent? I hope so.
no, that's just me. That's how I take it in. Tiffany is from Missouri. So, not,
That's
she
so
said, no, Minnesota. Minnesota.
Okay, that's not Southern. That's a completely different accent.
I know, but in my mind, everyone has a Southern accent.
That's
You
true.
know, it's just my people. Um, so I'm really excited for this retreat because just in what has it been, like 50 minutes, I feel like I have learned things that I was number one embarrassed to ask because I felt like I was supposed to know this stuff. Like you're a business owner and you put content out, you should know this. I didn't.
Yeah.
Um, you're supposed to know this, and you never. I don't want to say never. As a business owner, it feels shameful sometimes to ask questions
Mm,
to other business owners. You feel like it's going to lower credibility or some kind of authoritative stance you feel like you have might be lowered because you're asking questions. So I feel like this retreat is going to be so helpful. I hope it is so full you guys are turning people away because then I'll feel
yes.
super exclusive. Um, and I also want people to know how easy it is to work with you. So
Yeah.
you do have a website, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want anyone to get confused with buying. Um, People can obviously find you on Instagram. What is your Instagram handle?
Yeah, so my Instagram handle is just Emily Tosoni, Tosoni with an underscore.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, that I mean, again,
Is there
keep
another
things
Emily
very
out
simple. Just keep it as simple as possible because I have a last name that is hard to say and not necessarily intuitive about how to spell.
there? Okay.
So this is also why I don't I mean I guess my website is just emilytasoni.com. But
Mm,
I always spell out my last name.
okay.
And I tried to keep my handle simple so
Yeah.
that you can find me, I'm
Mhm.
searchable.
Yes.
Um, but definitely if nothing else, go find me on Instagram so
Yeah.
you can see what I teach, how I teach it.
Yeah.
Um, and and I am such a human, so my DMs are always open. You can always reach out and ask questions like I I want to help you overcome the overwhelm. And Ashley, what you just said, I think was so important that as business owners, we feel like there are things we should know. And
Yeah.
we do some like internal shaming about, I don't know this and I don't want to ask it. So I'm going to sit with it. Um, I hope this is a great reminder to folks that you only know as much as you know. And the only way to learn more than what you know is to have the confidence to be curious
Mm.
and to ask questions. One of my coaches who I've worked with for, when did I move here? I don't know, like 12, 13 years. We actually hosted a masterclass years ago now about how
Mhm.
curiosity is a leadership skill.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah,
That.
she's an incredible coach. And I think it's really important that as entrepreneurs doing
Mhm.
usually wearing all the hats in our business ourselves, or maybe we've hired some of it out, but we are the driving force behind our business.
Yeah.
If we don't allow ourselves to be curious and ask questions,
Mm.
our business will start to dwindle because we only know as much as we know.
Right.
I mean, I'm the same. It's not like I don't know everything. I'm learning new things all the time. I ask questions all the
Yeah.
time. I'm a part of multiple masterminds. I
Mhm.
have a coach. I'm
I love
always trying to learn more, to do better.
it. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I don't have, um, that I don't trust what I know and how I teach what I know. But the
No.
only way I can do a better job of serving my clients is if I continue to grow
Yes.
myself.
And I love that. I love that you are. I'm not even gonna say vulnerable because you don't even look like you're like being vulnerable. Okay.
That's
But some
just my
people.
normal personality. I'm like an
Yeah.
open book in all the ways. I'm just naturally vulnerable. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I love that. That is infectious. I think people that coaches that can say, I have a coach, is a power because it's saying,
Yes.
I am always learning. I am
Yes.
always trying to improve myself and my skill and, my offerings and all of the things. And you are actively doing that while growing. So
Yes.
I think that's really amazing. I hope that again, people come to the retreat, but also people feel that you are someone that will break down something. I'm going to call Instagram complicated.
Yeah.
Controversial. But something that feels crazy complicated. Oh my gosh, I'm too old to learn Instagram. I'm a Facebook girly. Like, you make it feel really easy to ask questions. So I encourage people to reach out. I am so grateful that you came on this wild ride with me. And now I feel like we can go to a retreat together. Do you want to go to a retreat together?
It's going to be so incredible. Oh,
I can't wait. I'm so excited. It's all I can think about, just seeing your face. So, yes, I also don't have an ending to these things. I just want to say that out loud. I swear, like, I've been doing this for a while. You think I would have an ending? I don't.
okay.
I've thrown out some ideas. One girl came on and said, we should, this was in studio. She said, we should do like a dance off. And I was like, I'm not super rhythmic, but
what?
Yeah, that's what she said. She was like, who cares? It's still cute. Then I was thinking about like recording, and I was like thinking, what would a dance off look like recording? And so, would you mind being my first dance off and ending?
Are we like trying to one up each other here? Or are we just like gonna like move a little to finish the episode?
I'm not super competitive, I will say.
Okay.
I just
wait. Are we gonna like get up from our seats to do this?
No, no. I was wondering, because if I do that, I might blur out.
Okay, so we have to stay real close.
Yeah.
Are we like? I'm just kidding.
But we just can kind of like what do they call, like, the shoulders, and it's oh my god. Well, now I do feel competitive. Yeah. Did we just do the same thing at the same time? We're kindred spirits. Beautiful. Emily,
just wait until the retreat. Oh my god, you get all this energy all in person.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
If I could do it all over again, there'd be no wish I would, should have been. Spend more time with my family and friends. If I could do it all over again, I'd wake up early and start my